Yo, what's going on, everybody? This is wrap up round of the season 49 and wrap up for me to do this vid. But, um, we had at this point in the season, we had round 10 and 11, Sweden, LVT back to back, number one, number four in the world, you know, uh, tough losses to two really great opponents and great alliances. Still sharpens, still, and we're in a do or die situation in a sense. We went from being we was in the top 10 and we dropped back in the second bracket. I think this was like ranked number 8 or 9 in the world at this time for second bracket. So like 18 or 19 must win. And we're playing YERBY, who is like ranked one before us. So winner gets Masters, loser, might still get it if some docks happen, which some did, but not enough for those guys to get into Masters, which they had a decent season from what I understand. My first 4 fights, really nothing too big, crazy, all Corvus fights. You've seen me do it. I don't want to harp on it too much. This was an expensive round because of I had to take off suicides. I had to buy a 200% cosmic boost and a PS1 to do these fights. Golly, this was a long season of Corvus. And yeah, I mean, there's really not too much to say here other than Corvus is going to do some Corvus things. See there, finally, I didn't have the indestructible up on them when I threw the SP3 after SP2. I was able to just finish it in one clean stroke. Next up, you've got Future Ant-Man, Black Panther, Civil War. First time I seen him place up there all season, but still a tough fight, as you've seen in the vids in the past. I did die to one, making a stupid mistake, but I won't, and I'll have I'll end up taking care of business here. But I play a little extra safe on both fights because we couldn't lose this round. We were behind in deaths. We were ahead in overall fights. And again, I said this season was a must-win. We had players that hadn't died to certain fights. Even had one guy had died all season. And the round he died on was this round. We just had some bad play, and we needed 2 battle groups. I know my battle group specifically. We were playing really well too. And this was the first time that we just had like a meltdown. And so like several players gave them the death. That's, when you add that up, everybody can't have a bad round. So the stakes were high, stress was high. You get to a long season, and if it comes down to round 12, it's a must win, which this was. You can only imagine how these fights were going. When I logged in and started taking my fights, I already knew this, and it had intensified. So yeah, these were fights that I had done before. I'm going to take care of business. I am taking a little slow on this feature. But again, there's really not much to say there. I mean, I've talked about these fights previous vids. This Black Panther fight, like I said, it was the thing I could think of is they just didn't want to give you the charge early to help slam through these. But it's like, if you're not going to ban Corvus at the time, it's like, well, it really wouldn't have mattered, right? Maybe that thought process was a little different, but you can see it here. It's going to go smooth. You see it there. I had to put on another PS1. And that was the last fight of the season for Corvus, is this one. But I'm going to take care of business here. Medium light. Medium light. SP2. I mean, right there, the fight's pretty much in the bag. But guess what? He had the indestructible up in time. So unlike the Odin fight earlier where it wasn't, I'll have to back out, parry, remove the indestructible, and then boom, fight's in the bag. So this next fight is the fight that I've done this fight so many times in the past, but when I say past, I'm talking like 5 seasons plus ago, where I used Kingpin a little bit more often in War than I have the last couple seasons, and that's only because I've got a pretty wide roster, and I would get assigned other fights. But I still know how to use them. This fight was stun immune. So here's something that I overlooked before this fight started. I had Petrify, Pacify maxed out. What I don't like about using Kingpin against Chavez is if I don't have the Sinister synergy for the power lock. And even without it though, it's still a doable fight. What I do here is, first of all, that MD catches me off guard. Plan is if she gets the SP2, because you couldn't keep the SP1 baits going to keep that in check, push her to SP3 because I had the invuln. Now I'm going to do this right now. Watch. Go in, SP1, okay, she comes out, I play turtle, she plays ball, I go in, striker. Alright, I'm gonna go all in, because I know and I still got my invuln. And I'm gonna dash in to trigger the SP3, doesn't happen, I don't know why it didn't happen, she wears out my invuln, she throws the SP3, I do have the big SP3 special damage reduction to save my ass. Along with all the boosts. And watch this lack of killer instinct. Boom. Should have went for it. Didn't do it. Full combo SP2. Did it again. Didn't. Cocky, man. Right there. A third time. And then I die. Rookie. I'm more mad about that than anything was my lack of killer instinct there. And it cost us a death in a very close round. And we did get the win. We did get Masters. Slaw did disband / close. I had to move on to a new alliance. Some of the other guys went on to other spots. But yeah. Anyway, it's been fun for the season. I was glad I was able to recap some of these war vids so I can remove them from my phone. Call it a day. Take care. Season 50. Coming up real soon, right? Deuce.